being shipped today.
It's setting up our live stream on Facebook. So you're going to be live on Facebook.
There it is.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Welcome everyone. This is our feature poet Jennifer, who's going to tell us about.
No. I'm your live audience.
It's
global.
Amazing.
We are fully global.
Yeah.
All right, there we are. So we are now streaming live on Facebook and on Zoom. So we're just going to hang fire for a minute and wait for a few people to join us. So you can jump on Facebook and watch us through the Poetic Justice Wanaka Facebook feed, or you can join us on Zoom, and the link is in the event at the virtual drop of a virtual hat on the Poetic Justice Wanaka Facebook page. And we have a waiting room for the Zoom. So as you guys come on, I'm going to invite you in. So I've just invited Maria Breslin in.
Whoa, yeah. It's my mom. Oi, shout out for my mom. Hello, my mom.
We're all over the world right now. We're in Delhi. Where are you in Milton Keynes? Where are you? Hang on, I'll unmute you. There we go. Maria Breslin is unmuted.
Okay. Good to see you.
Yay, good to see you. Helen's just popped on. Thanks, guys. We'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll kick off. It's 7:30 in the evening.
In New Zealand.
So Liz and I are in the surrounds of Wanaka, which is in the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand. And Annabel is in Christchurch, where the weather is worse than it is here.
Correction, Littleton.
Oh, sorry, she's in Littleton. She's in a suburb of Christchurch. It's the cultural center of New Zealand right now, I reckon, Littleton.
Totally. Totes my goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Littleton Coffee Co. is doing takeaway coffees on Tuesday. Very excited.
Oh my gosh.
Coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing. I'm not sure. Where I live is a small shire with one pub. And I don't know what they'll deliver. Maybe they'll deliver speaks. Okay, so we are doing a show called At the Drop of a Hat. So At the Drop of the Hat is a show that we've toured around New Zealand and Canada, actually. And the way it works is we ask the audience to provide us with words, and that is how we create the set list for the show. So it's an audience participation exercise. Hi, guys. And the point is that a lot of people don't enjoy poetry because often it's a little bit too formal and it's a little bit too boring and it doesn't happen in pubs. So normally we do this in pubs, but we can't go to a pub right now. So we're pubbing at home. And then also a lot of people go to poetry shows and they're like, another poem about that guy's cat, or, you know, the Shire or in the fields and stuff. And maybe they're not hearing anything they want to hear about. So that's why we invite you, the audience, to present us with some words and some ideas, and we'll give you some poems back. And sometimes it goes really well, and sometimes we fuck it up, and it's okay. Everything's fine. So while we're going through this, there's different ways you can send us words. So if you're in the Zoom, you can actually join Zoom chat. Oh, hi ho. And give us some words through that. So Morgan's given us a word already. And Annabelle over there, who's top right on my screen. Hi, it's like the Brady Bunch. She'll collate those words. And we'll use that. We also, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you can check the word up there in the comments. and we'll pick up those as well. So just put a comment under the video. Or if you're on Zoom and we might ask you at one point, I might unmute you guys and just get you to yell at us, and we'll see if we can get some words that way. So everybody good with that? Thumbs up. Can you guys all hear me? Just nod. Oh, I got 2 thumbs up there. Cool. Okay. All right. Anything my fellow poets would like to say? Because I'm supposed to be introducing this and I can't remember what I've forgotten to say. Oh, okay. When we do drop of the hat, we have a contract with the audience, which normally they read as they come into the bar. But because we're not in a bar, Liz is going to read that to you and explain to you a little bit about the rules. So here she comes.
Thank you. I'm going to do screen sharing. Laura, my mum's video is still on and she's very noisy and disruptive. So, okay. I mean, not her video, her audio is still on. She's very noisy and disruptive usually. So you might want to sort that out. Okay, I'm going to do screen sharing with you guys. This is my screen that I'm sharing with you. Can everyone see it? Yeah, good. So this is the At the Drop of a Hat audience contract poet rules. Number 1, you write the themes, we do the poems. Number 2, just like with online supermarket shopping, if you can get a slot in the first place, we reserve the right to offer you substitutions. Number 3, just like with the above shopping scenario, you, the audience, are allowed to not accept the substitutions. Number 4, we reserve the right to discard your words if you are being unkind, because kindness is key. Number 5, we will use every word you put in the hat. Number 6, unless for some reason we find that we can't. Number 7, and then please forgive us. Number 8, because we are only playing here and these words are our gift to you. Signed very sincerely, Laura, Liz and Annabel. That's the gap.
That was the rules. Annabel, I'm just going to spotlight myself.
Yeah.
Melchel just had it the other night. Okay, so Annabelle, would you like to say anything before we kick off?
I would just like to say, hey, hi, everyone. We're looking forward to bringing you the Drop of a Hat show virtually for the first time ever.
Okay, so virtual Drop of the Hat. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to warm up. So we're all going to read you one of our poems that we choose. We don't care what you think. But that is the only time this evening we're going to do anything without your input. So have Liz or Annabelle, have you decided what poem you're going to say first? Because I haven't decided yet.
No, sorry.
You guys are useless. Annabelle?
Yeah, I was going to just bust out the haiku.
Oh, the haiku.
Yeah, well, yeah, a haiku, which is actually at Laura's house behind her. I can see. Cool.
Well, you say it.
Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of the haiku, so I'm going to start with a haiku. Oh, now in case I forget it, I can just read it off Laura's. That's awesome.
Can recite along.
Yeah, and a little reminder while we're going around doing a little intro poem, you guys can come up with your words and add them in the chat, and then I'm going to put them into this magical hat picker online. And I'm going to show you that so you know it's legit. And then I'm going to literally and virtually and figuratively and everything pull poems and ideas and words out of the hat. Okay, so this is my haiku. Love is a hill start in a king's wood on a green light with a fucked clutch.
Thank you, Annabelle. Awesome way to kick off with your Poet's Choice poem. Liz?
Yep, I've got one. It's called Poem Where I Write the Word Ice Cream Instead.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't really a right time of day for ice cream. You can always fit it in, even in between meals. And even those odd people who say they don't like ice cream just haven't investigated all the options yet. Ice cream is good with friends. Ice cream is fine on your own. You might think you're the only ice creamer in the room, but someone else will be thinking, oh, that looks attractive, just a little bit, perhaps. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. If you say it so much, it starts to sound funny, but nobody minds because everyone loves it. Ice cream.
Woo!
Thank you. Yes. Now, if you enjoy someone's poem, normally what we do in real life, we snap, but I can't hear you because I've muted you all, or so you can snap at the camera.
No, but Grace Jones is doing something really clever. She made there be clapping hands. Do it again, Grace Jones. Look at that for technology. Oh, yes, Grace Jones.
That's in the reaction bar, the reaction button down at the bottom. I've only got thumbs up and there, and clapping.
That's all you need.
Is that all you need? I'm gonna do one. I'm gonna say one because I was thinking today the first thing I'm gonna do when we're allowed to go somewhere is drive to the sea. This is called The End. Tracing the southern scenic route reminds me all coasts are the same. Where water hits land, the lines always change. If the whole country stood on tiptoe, they wouldn't see their way down to this edge, removed, remote, sloped. I think I'll leave you to it now. Let them ask all the questions in the world. Let there be no answers. Let the trees bend. This is the end, a place you could get lost, man, lost.
Nice.
Okay, all right. So Annabelle, do you want to hook us up with a word?
Yes, certainly. Okay, so for tonight's event, I have found this online random word picker that has heaps of ads around it, but just so you know, we are legit in our activities most of the time. I'm going to share with you what it looks like so you can see the random name picker. You can see all your words in there, and then with the magic of the intranet, you can see my very busy screen. Sorry as well. I'm going to pick a random name from this random name picker, and then we're going to be like, what poem could possibly link with that? And then we will magically and hopefully and randomly find our own poem to connect with that. Okay, so you can see your words in there. I put them all in there from the chat and from some that got emailed to us. Here they go.
Annabelle, as a point of information, I'm pretty sure that your hair looks amazing was not a selection.
Oh, thanks. Oh, it was in the chat. The winner is discombobulated.
Discombobulated.
Neither was I have to go and get a beer. I think those are points of fact.
It was in the chat. So if you're putting stuff in the chat, I'm putting it in the random word machine.
Oh!
Uh-huh.
What was the word?
Discombobulated.
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 Oh, that's like being drunk, isn't it? And looking up at the stars. And what about your Dunedin one, Laura, about you're lying and you feel really drunk, that stars one?
I think Liz wrote that. Did you write the one about the stars being in 3D, Liz?
Yeah, and it was the poem for Larry.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Which I will just see if I can find on my really organised.
I can do a drunk kids in Dunedin one.
Yep, and I've got the one I wrote for Larry as well.
Okay.
Brilliant. We probably all have a discombobulated poem, let's be honest.
Yeah. All right, you want to hit us with Larry there, Liz?
Okay. Bit of background. Larry was someone who we all loved, who lived in Dunedin and now doesn't really live at all. And this was a poem for him, for Larry. We walked as one up a staircase, sucked in through the doorway into delight. You played the piano to a backdrop of candles, an absolute dim lost light. We were anywhere, dragged into thoughts, individual, everywhere, and yet altogether upstairs from George. It was not quite usual. It was not quite legal. It was disquiet. It was only one of us and everyone, and you were so literal and spectacle, and we ended the night, lying on the campus grass, marveling at the world in 3D and quoting that guy who said, if we're all of one consciousness, there's only one of us here, and your life ended not much later, and we think of you in uncertain lights. Yeah, that's for Larry.
Thanks, Liz. I love that poem.
Yeah, I love that night, eh?
Yeah. I was so drunk. I was excited that when I looked up, everything looked in 3D. I was like, I'm so wasted. Everything's in 3D, man.
And it was.
It was. Okay, actually, I've got one. I've got a different one, but that I think suits discombobulated. So I had this great uncle, so my grandmother's uncle. And anyways, he was nuts, and everybody has this uncle. So I think you recognize him no matter where you hail from, or what your family is like. It's called A Few True Things About Uncle Lloyd. Believed trees had feelings, stumps made him cry, threw stones at the sky, you messed it all up, damn you, why? Read us a book about a man who spoke seagull, ate at the kids' table, smoked. One Christmas, he said he would teach us a song. The song was, Nellie, put your belly next to mine. From his last letter, much better now, and they say soon they'll take the dressings from my eyes. No one could tell us what he meant. Died in Perth. The words to Nellie, put your belly next to mine include, but are not limited to, she could fight, fuck, drive a truck, drink a keg of wine. Children loved my Uncle Lloyd. Adults did not. Lloyd. Annabelle, do you have a discombobulated poem?
Yeah, this is about after getting discombobulated.
Post discombobulation.
Post discombobulation. The lake today, rough as guts. Morning after. Last night we were swinging from the rafters. Now my teeth feel like cardigans, and there's new stains on the carpet.
Yes.
What can get out those stains, man? You know, it's like controversial. What do you use to get red wine stains out? Salt, hope,
Salt.
water.
Yeah, salt. And this stuff nappies in.
Nappy sand.
Yeah, nappies in. It works really well.
Yeah.
There's good chat going on. Okay, Annabelle, do you want to randomize us another word, please?
Oh, yes. Would you like to see it as it happens?
Let's watch it one more time because I like the little.
Okay, just for the newcomers and stuff, I will. Yeah, well, it's quite fun to do anyway. I'll share the full effect of the word picking machine.
It's because we're not getting out very much, Annabelle. Anything like this is fun to do.
Okay, so I'm going to take out discombobulated.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Amazing.
We don't want to get that again.
Oh, it's not going out. It's really resisting my delete. Okay, 3. I don't need to enable 3-step randomness process certification.
No, don't enable that.
You should
Okay.
read the
3,
FAQ.
2, 1. Pick a random word.
Man, I could watch that all day.
Thistle! And the word
What
is
is it?
thistle.
Thistle?
Thistle.
Oh my gosh, what? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like prickle or thistle or things in your foot.
Yeah, and there's also a whole Scots angle on that.
Mm-hmm.
Thistle, prickle thing in your foot.
That makes me think of stones in my shoe. I've got a poem about stones in my shoe.
Yeah, go on then.
Not right here. I've got to find it. Stones in my shoe.
Poems, grass. There's a thistle in Wellington.
Thistle, who's got a Scottish poem? Isn't thistle the symbol of Scotland?
Yeah, I completely just said that.
Scottish. Yeah, good. Scottish poem or Burns night thing?
Okay.
Thing again.
Yeah. Let's just stay in Dunedin.
I know, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I've got a Dunedin with the octagon in it, which is where, for those of you who are overseas, Dunedin is the Edinburgh of the South, and it's got a lot of Scottish iconography around, and they hold Burns nights, and there's a great bar called Al's Bar, and it's all whiskey and haggis. So just up from Al's Bar is the Octagon, and there is a statue of Robert Burns above it. So the Octagon, actually I don't even say Octagon in this poem. I say Moray, which is the street where the Octagon is. So there you go. Everybody feeling geographically competent now?
No.
Okay. Yeah, good. All right. Thanks, Morgan. Okay, this is called Albatross. The girls in Dunedin wear skirts too short for the weather, too short for even them. A pigeon perched on Robbie Burns is a gray silhouette against a gray sky. When the mist comes tonight, these roads will freeze. Moray is colder than sin. The students are testing how many bodies a Lime scooter can carry. This can only go wrong after dark. We pay for the now. Everything they think is permanent will be erased. I am trying to forget, counting Albert Einstein's infidelities while composing a poem made of file directories and data sets. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, too late. I'm prowling George Street, drowning in breath fog, looking for the perfect blue scarf.
Nice. And now you're knitting the perfect blue scarf. Laura, I've got a request.
Yes.
Like, I know that I did just ask you to mute my mum because I was being mean to her, but like, this is a very quiet poetry reading. I'm not very used to a quiet poetry reading. Do you think we could just unmute people, and then if they wanted to, they could mute themselves?
All right. I don't have to, okay. Yes, I will do that.
Because I prefer it when people say things.
Okay. I trust you all to behave. All right. Who else has got a thistle poem?
I've got a gravel. I found the gravel in my shoe poem, which is like having a thistle, and it's also just off Moray Place in Dunedin.
I'm going to pass on this round.
Okay. Annabelle.
On the Tiles View Street, you will always remember this. Splinters and blisters, night picnic on scaffolding, ripped tights, woolen gloves, gravel in your shoe. Hold on to everything, rhymed iron piping, his hip, his hand. Now lie on the tiles, like sandpaper, yeah. Find the pot and the Southern Cross, and there's the Savoy, Robbie Burns, the Octagon, the Crown. Lights like fluorescent anemones fold into the blurred edges of Thursday night when you're all the places you shouldn't be. Your room's messy, but the city is pretty from up here, and we could probably get all the way out to the ocean, tiptoeing across rooftops with this ninja balance we've got.
Yes.
Woo! Are we supposed to do that now?
Woohoo!
Oh, it's nice having the sound.
Yeah. Mel just said that it can get feedbacky when everyone's unmuted, but people can always mute themselves. We're grown-ups. Let's have another word.
Okay, I'll do the spin. I'll just share it one more time because it's fun.
Oh my god.
Random name picker. We're going in. Oops, did I mute me? Hey, they've got a weird ad.
You said you can always use more red wine, and there it is in the name picker.
Oh my.
You can just dye the whole garment with red wine.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I have to go get a beer.
Oh, why has everyone got beer poems?
I have to go get a beer. Everyone's got a beer poem.
I've got a poem about drinking, but it's not necessarily about beer. Can I share it?
I think that's
Yeah.
everybody okay with that? Nod. Nod, Zoomers. Okay, Zoomers are happy. You have been given permission.
Okay, I just have to find it then, don't I? God, the pressure. Here we go. It's called Vigilia, which is a Polish thing that is like what you do on Christmas Eve, what I grew up thinking everyone did on Christmas Eve. And this is my poem. Vigilia. Save a seat for the unexpected guest. Keep the cutlery shiny, straight. Make dinner party fantasy invitee lists. Who would you have along though, living or dead? Pass the bread to the left. Heart-feel wishes, repeat. Light angel chimes, throw patterns to the ceiling. Serve more courses, meatless. Fork the fish, repeat. Raise a glass to absent friends, enough to buckle the waiting chair if you could receive the miracles of air travel or dominion over death. Scrape the cream, lick, repeat. Angels in my eyes, moth to the bright heat. I've been drinking and it's empty, feel the cheer. Thank you.
Annabelle, I can't believe I'm asking you this, but is there any chance you might have a poem with some alcohol references in it? Beer.
Lots of alcohol, and I've got beer in particular.
You need to be beer specific. That's excellent.
Beer specific. Interesting. I'll have it just standing by because it's been a while, but I'll try and do it off the page.
Go for it.
It's one of the supermarket poems. Stranded. He's got the tan matted hair, tattoos, and a hankering for beer. He needs 2-minute noodles, Milo, toilet paper, sunlight liquid, and toast. It's pumping down in the Catlands, but he's here 3 hours from the coast. He stands next to the mussel bin, eyes closed, breathes in.
That's super appropriate for right now because there's a lot of like trapped inland surfers in New Zealand right now.
Just go and stand next to the mussel bin.
Yeah.
Smell really like the sea, and you'll be there in no time.
We'll have to physical distance around the
Yeah, one at a time, 2 meters apart. Stand next
a really big mussel bin with the mussels all physically distanced and everyone lining up.
Oh, yeah.
I have one that's just like the first line is a drinking reference. So yeah, and I don't know why why I look like I'm in like an 80s video, why it's all weird, but anyways, I hope that's okay.
Your life is an 80s video.
I actually want to be in an 80s video, so my chance. Okay, this is called I don't like love poems, but this is one. Okay. You make me want to drink, smoke a pipe, check for the nearest exit. It may be behind me. Cry in the shower, speak French, write long list poems, throw myself on the grenade, wear dresses and boots, shake my moneymaker, burn the whole damn town to the ground, then chew on the ashes and lick my teeth clean. You make me want to wonder. You make me want to run. You make me want to rest my case. You make me want to delete my browser history, develop synesthesia, stay up all night, sleep all day, make art house films about regret, sweep it all under the bed, cheat the Ouija board. You make me want to take out a classified ad in the Times seeking men for a dangerous mission abroad, at the end of which survival will not be guaranteed. You make me want to start a riot at the Democratic National Convention. Let the fantail inside, milk buttercups for their neurotoxins. You make me dream of things that will not be, colored roofs and window frames, boats bobbing in a bright blue sea. You make me see death in the stars. You make me want to fold up my chest for good, let it get dusty in the dark. You make me want to pull the curtains, call it a day. You make me call time on my heart. Okay, we're like at the halfway point. So so for halfway point celebrations, I want you, team Zoom, I'm wondering if you can either like visually give us the poem, or if you want to say visually give us a word. If you want to say a word, like put up your hand and I'll unmute you.
Are they all unmuted anyway, Laura?
No, so they've all muted.
Some have self-muted.
It's self-muted.
Okay.
can write them down in my pad.
Yeah, someone give us a word.
Oh, look, we've got someone with their hand waving at us here, and I'm pointing at them as if we're in the same room.
Oh, it's Morgan.
Okay,
Morgan.
Morgan, what's your word?
Okay. My word is 2 words.
Oh God.
Soft cheese.
Soft cheese.
Soft cheese. Oh, Jesus. Soft cheese. We've got a cheese poem.
I really wish I had soft cheese.
Ah, I do.
You've got a cheese poem.
It's about grating cheese, which you have to do with cheese that's reasonably soft.
I think that's totally
Is that
acceptable.
all right?
Is that all right, Morgan? Morgan says okay, it's his word.
Yeah, good
And
enough. Good
it's-
enough.
It was inspired by Liz, who was inspired by the Possibilities poem of Wisława Szymborska.
Yes.
And then she, if you don't know about the Possibilities Project, if you want to try your hand to some writing, Liz can tell you more, but it's all through the Dunedin City of Literature page, and Liz threw out the challenge to write your own Possibilities poem. And I had a go the other day when I was in my little lockdown bubble, and it's about grating cheese, among other things. Possibilities. I prefer going to Hollywood cinema on Mariner Street to Netflix and chill. No cats or dogs. I prefer native birds. I prefer the space where the forest changes to silver beach from the fern in the depths of Fiordland. I prefer O'Hara to Ginsberg. I prefer Marmite. I prefer myself loving love to myself obsessed with whether or not they'll call. I prefer keeping a hanky on hand because in my family we cry easily. I prefer to turn my rings around 3 times if I glimpse the full moon through glass, just in case. I prefer marl and slippers with Wallace Chapman on Sunday. I prefer not to maintain the links in email chain letters. I prefer the possibles over the probables. I prefer to write it down. I prefer the real meme. I prefer a proper letter. I prefer you in leather. I prefer creative, non-work related assignments. I prefer deviations. I prefer the last minute dash to the airport. I prefer the car park to the waiting room. I prefer the old songs to the new album. I prefer the absurdity of writing poems to the absurdity of not writing poems. I prefer, where love's concerned, to speak the truth faster. I prefer the quick rip of the sticking plaster. I prefer the promise of frost, foraged cocktails, getting lost over finding myself. I prefer you to wake me up before you go. I prefer Papatuanuku to uphold me. I prefer 72% cocoa. I prefer Bardidas. I prefer having some questions. I prefer the columns to the headlines. I prefer to be the one who leaves rather than the one who is left behind. I prefer grating cheese to vacuuming. I prefer Art Garfunkel's bright eyes and Bonnie Tyler's turnaround bright eyes equally. I prefer the cupboards closed and the windows open while sleeping. And when I sleep, I prefer to sleep diagonally. I prefer many things to the things I haven't mentioned here, to the many things I've also left unsaid. I prefer not to know what's coming. I prefer zero cool and zero gravity to zero liability. I prefer to be doing a manual task outdoors when bringing up difficult subjects. I prefer to let fantails out the same way they came in. I prefer keeping in mind every possibility that begin, Benny, and bien are anagrams of being for a reason.
Nice. That poem cheats as well, Annabelle, because really it's about everything, and it's one of those you could.
It's a list poem.
Not in a bad way, in a good way, because you could throw anything in there. You could be like, I totally prefer soft cheese.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't. I got too obsessed with the cheese part. I should have just said soft cheese to vacuuming. Yeah.
I did that once in Williamson when someone said do giraffe, and we were like, what the heck? And then
Who's got a giraffe poem?
yeah, and then but I actually did kind of, but not really.
Do you have a soft cheese poem?
I've got a poem with cheese in it.
Yeah.
Like a cheese poem.
Yes, cheese.
Okay. It's in the resort supermarket with the feminists. A little bit, I feel like we're a little bit supermarket obsessed.
I know. What is it?
Not without good reason. Anyway, see if I can make it a bit bigger. Let's say you make it through the fresh fruit and veg aisle without weeping at the plastic stickers on apples, like that's progress, and the brown paper bags that are only for organics, and the $7.50 avocados going mouldy in their heaps. Let's say you navigate the muesli, which seems to have sprouted into paleo-happy puffy jobs, and those little sippy breakfast drinks in their vacuous pack with their evil single-use ultra-bleached straws, and the Weet-Bix multi-grain gluten-free. Let's see you plug in your headphones in the coffee aisle to try not to talk to what's-her-name who's checking out the organic fair trade coffee beans. Hide the mint hot chocolate under carrot, because don't you know what that shit's doing to your mind? Don't lose it now. You've got to negotiate the baking bits. And was it cardamom you wanted? And can you remember why? Your list is superfluous like frills on a pig, but nobody's eating pork anymore. Anyway, keep it together now, all the wheels trucking on straight down the next. Wait, you forgot the peanut sodding butter, but you've got some kind of rule whereby you can't backtrack. It's a matter of survival. Keep your eyes low and your earphones in, even though you can hear the call of 2 for 1 loud and clear. And it's all gone pear now as you throw in bread, wine, and Morgan cheese. Because what else is there really? Eggs, but not prawns, because of people poking their eyes so they can't run away. But prawns don't run. You feel like a prawn in a frill. Let's say you make it to the checkout without guzzling a tray of wine samples, and you're studiously not judging the contents in the trolleys in front and behind, playing pig, prawn, deaf, blind, till it's your turn to wave your little red card tracking device over the barcode thing, which keeps flashing up the word unstable like it can read your mind. And you've forgotten your reusable bags, and the coconut ice is squealing, buy me, buy me, buy me. And you have never so much wanted a Star Wars Kinder Surprise. And it's then the keypad tells you you're declined. It's a true story, I swear. It's all a true story. I do not miss the supermarket.
Does anyone else in our Zoom audience? Oh yeah, Simon Bridges. Simon's got a Simon Bridges request. He's got a Simon Bridges or Simon Bridges adjacent
How
poem.
did you know that? Did he hold up oh, he held it up.
Yeah, not a sign.
Just while we're thinking about Simon Bridges, Eric Kennedy choc hotler is what I call it with my kids all the time. So that's why I got a little bit confused, but I do love.
Simon Bridges is here. Ooh,
Where is Simon Bridges? Welcome, Simon Bridges, to.
I've got one.
supporting the arts.
You've got a Simon Bridges poem.
No. Oh, well, okay. I've got
Something Simon Bridges adjacent.
I've got 2 poems related to that topic actually.
You go.
Okay. I've got one that is I'm going to screen share it. So it's not about Simon Bridges, but as we all know, just for those of you overseas, Simon Bridges is the leader of the opposition, and he said he wasn't happy with what was going on here because he thought the cure was worse than the medicine. And he totally just quoted Donald Trump directly, and everyone was like, you're a dick. So anyways, this poem has Donald Trump in it, and I made it out of the Cards Against Humanity card game. So it's like a visual thing. So I'm gonna try and share it with you so you can see it. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Oh, this is amazing. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, I've got your poem too. I'll go get it.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can buy this as a poster. Okay, so can you guys see it? Nod if you can see it. You can. Okay, cool. So it's called a sick burnout. A sick burnout. This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but with a windmill full of corpses, ghosts, millions of cane toads, Pauline Hanson, Trump. David Bowie flying on a tiger made of lightning, making up for centuries of oppression with one day of apologizing. What's left of the Great Barrier Reef, a bag of magic beans, Stephen Hawking talking dirty. The big fucking hole in the ozone layer, science. Pretending to care, a literal tornado of fire. There we go.
Amazing.
Got the poster.
And that's
There
what
you
it
go.
looks like.
Yeah, there
I've
you
got
go.
the poster. You can also buy one.
Yeah, in dining.
Do you have
room.
like contactless delivery, Laura?
Yes.
Gloves on.
Cool. Does anyone else have a Simon Bridges poem?
No, no, I don't have anything polite to say about Simon Bridges.
I don't think I do.
I used one of Sarah Carlton's words, which was whole.
Yeah, Sarah Carlton, we did that on purpose. It was like,
in one.
yeah, thank you. That makes our job easier later on.
Okay. I think if no one else has anything to add to the Simon Bridges discussion, can we have one more word, please?
We certainly can. I will share the process with you so that we know there's no cheating. Pick a random name.
That was the word that you half that close when you were taking off discombobulated.
Okay, I'm gonna go again.
This
Yeah,
never
yeah.
happens if we have a real.
The word was luck. The word was luck.
Oh, was it luck?
Luck.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take it.
We go with luck. Oh yes, luck. Yeah. I accidentally. Yeah, luck. Luck is the word.
Luck. Shit.
Who's got something about luck?
I feel like I've got a poem that is about
Fate.
So bear with me, and the audience, you can be like, nah, fuck off, Liz, that's ridiculous. But luck made me think of the unluckiness that happened the other day when I tried to wash some clothes, and I washed this white shirt that I actually do like with all my blue things, and then you know what happened next. And then
the Thor poem.
it's actually about a washing machine.
No, it's about Thor.
Does that work for you guys, or is that too?
Yeah, because it's washing roulette in there.
Yeah.
That's what the washing machine is.
And we
Okay.
have
It's not a luck thing.
We have Thor and Chris Hemsworth in this world. That's a lucky thing.
Okay, I was more asking the audience rather than asking you guys, because I know that you're going to say that anything is fine because, like, you're in this with me.
Yeah. Morgan
Do we-
he likes Thor.
Oh, if
Whose
Morgan,
word was luck?
okay. Oh, yeah, whose word was luck? We should check with whoever's word it was.
Oh, I think it was.
It was mine. I feel like I've been overrepresented in my words tonight.
Yeah, all right.
Morgan.
But I'm happy to go. I'm happy to go with whatever your interpretation of luck is.
Sweet ass. This is spin cycle then. 1. Oh, it's like a 5-part poem because Sam Hunt reckons that gets you more Creative New Zealand funding. Doesn't work for me. 1. It's a drying day. I know, I've checked my phone. Also, you can tell by looking outside. The toy are rearing their plumes against a flawless sky. A whitewash before coffee can help reduce mental load. 2. There is no normal. Choose Allergy Plus, Sportswear, Mixed Load, Super 15. Cottons, cotton stains, cotton eco, delicate / silk. Easy care, dark load, freshen up, stroke rinse. wool, drain, gentle spin, spin. 3. The internet says the first mechanical washing machine was not called Thor, which does not make me think of Chris Hemsworth and his mighty Mjolnir in that scene he gentle spins. And I am not spending precious easy care minutes verifying this squat in front of the front loader. I feel not invisible fortress in this room. 4. All it takes is one blue running sock running blue to ruin the lot. 5. There's a trick to it, separating loads. Pay attention to the particular energy of garments. Thank them for their place in your life. Love them and kiss them good and proper bye. Fucking blue fucking socks, fucking dark loading the fresh of actual fucking pieces I tried so hard to clean. Fuck you and your blue bleed. At the end of but who am I kidding? There is no end to this mountain of spin. We're busy, so busy fulfilling the prophecy. One load comes out, another goes in. One load comes out, another goes in. The toy reach max speed. It's going to rain. Toy Story.
Love it.
I've got one that I can relate to luck.
Mm-hmm.
It's about growing up in North America during the Cold War, and I always felt like we were very lucky that we survived that. And you can say that it was because of good foreign policy or whatever, but I think probably a lot of it was just luck. So can I do that more? Morgan, are you okay with that? Yeah, she's good. She's Canadian. And I would like to dedicate this. I would like to give this one out to Jennifer, who's watching from India right now, but she might recognize some of the stuff that happens in this poem. It's called Trinitite. We had so much time living below the dew line, school kids at the Peace Arch. We made the news at 5, 6, 7, 8. We don't want to radiate. Do you want to play a game? Did Rutherford know he made a mistake when he told us the atom is mostly made of empty space, the waste of shrapnel and bone? Our parents brought their children into an inferno, unthinking, so we could do the very same thing. The jar we filled with stones props the door open at the scene of the crime. We are a day ahead down here, after winds in the distant early warning.
Yes. Amazing.
I've got something linked with luck.
Yes.
When you smash things, or you're nearly about to smash things, but you actually somehow miraculously rescue them. Well, I'm just going to read you a little extract from a little chapbook drafty thing.
Yeah. Nice.
This is for Chrissy, because we went to Bali together, and this is a little Balinese poem for you. 2 cups on the doorstep, a red-beaked plant drapes like a Christmas bauble above us, velvety to touch. We sit here every morning, sip sweet tea. A sooty butterfly swoops over your shoulder. Black eyeshadow sand smudges to silver. Blue waves roll in. Curious palm trees lean over the ocean, whispering like the gathering together of familiar faces, easy laughter, like diving to catch falling vases. He finished Rumi and loaned it to me. He left little notes in the margins. Tat savam asi, I am you, you are me. Oh. I wonder if I can show you another picture from that. It's got wee pictures in it. Oh, there's one. Like diving is on its own page because they're diving to catch the falling vases. But
You
it's,
know, well, sorry, that makes me just think of this thing. I was at this workshop this one time, and everyone was giving feedback on their, and we're talking about formatting. And someone was like, "Well, why do you think she formatted her work like that?" And this guy, really dry in the corner, was like, "Because she hates trees."
oh my God.
Word on the-
I
yeah.
can be accused of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a thing. Yeah.
Or it's paper.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, poets, we hate trees, basically. Let's have another word.
But not when we do it virtually.
We're down as the MC.
Yeah.
Point out that we're down to about the last 10 minutes.
I know, and I'm ready for this.
Ah, okay.
Have time
Should I
for
do another spin, or we go to the audience request?
Yeah, let's do one more audience. Let's do one more audience.
And you give me that other list, Annabelle. You send it to me in the secret.
Ah,
bit.
yes.
They're
Yes,
doing
yes.
secret stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so someone wave or write a word or
I've got a word request come in from my brother whose son would like us to do something about tractors, please. And
tractors.
tractors.
Okay. Tractors, trucks, roads,
Tractors.
roads. I've got a road poem.
Tractors.
Farms, threshing.
Ah, I've got one. I'll go after you. I think I've got something with a tractor in it.
That's so random.
Oh no, it's more a farmy, rural type poem. I don't know if there's a tractor or not.
I'll do one. I mean, there's not an actual tractor in this one, but I live on a highway that is in the middle of the country, and there are a lot of tractors that go by my house every day. And in fact, at this particular moment in time, the only thing that goes by my house is tractors. And the road I live on is called State Highway 8.
Oh, I love this poem.
So this poem is called State Highway 8. And actually, Annabelle and Liz are in this poem. So I put my poems in alphabetical order for this because I'm Canadian. I just had to find the S's. Who's spotlighted? Am I spotlighted? I am. So when I read this, you have to imagine a lot of tractors going by, and you might hear some in the background even. Yes, State Highway 8. Sometimes it feels like friends are no more than an audience for your life, and sometimes it does not. What a wonder, us born this many degrees apart. There are fish who swallow rocks when a storm is coming, and the fact is, weddings make me want to be a pirate, to drop from a mast into a roiling sea. We all know we need to get out of here, but the best we can do is take the road between cities we know and say it over. Whatever it is, leave your heart on the page. Don't be afraid, Ange says, and plays a blue note so low it becomes a photograph. Liz's words surf the wash. She speaks against her accent. Annabelle's poems are hanging valleys. Our small stories are precious, and this is what we have to do, and so we will do it.
I really love that one. I've got a rural poem. It doesn't feature a tractor.
You
but
just say the word tractor over and over again, and George will be happy anyway. So
Okay.
it's fine.
I could add a tractor. I might just.
Oh, you've got the right shirt on, buddy. That's awesome.
It's got a ute in it. That's a utility vehicle, not dissimilar to a tractor.
That's good.
Actually, yeah. You can just listen out. There may or may not be a random tractor added. I should have done the cheating thing. Okay. There's totally a tractor. There will be a tractor in this. I'll bring the tractor. Begin being. It's the same moon, but it's different. These mountains you've known. as long as you've been knowing, who knew you before you even started to know, look different now. Your new glance is slant askance as you take in this autumn miscellany, Manuka, Matagoti, Tractor, an empty beach, slate grey sand and ribbed corrugations beneath your feet. Also known as wild Irishman, Matagoti is the only native plant with thorns. For much of the year, it has few leaves, but it's the stems and thorns that let light in. Keep walking till you're knee deep in the lake. Walk till you're standing in blue clay. Meanwhile, somewhere near Hororata, a farmer drives north in his green tractor with his dog on the back. Dust follows the tractor as he cuts his way slowly across the Canterbury Plains. Irrigators slide past like giant strands of DNA. He's listening to Dire Straits' Love Over Gold, and when Telegraph Road plays when he passes Dar Field's Telegraph Road, he laughs. Then came the churches, then came the schools, then came the lawyers, then came the rules, then came the trains and the trucks with their load. And now the texture of what you're standing in changes. It's lost its firmness. Much of the year you've felt the ground has been like this. You think about the mud we chucked at each other as kids, then made into sculptures left to dry on the rocks on the shore. Keep walking towards the blue line, which was once the edge of the world, the ledge where things get deeper and darker and you can't see the bottom anymore. Didn't you keep your clay man for a while in your bedroom? Didn't he sit, grey-blue, watchful on your window ledge, looking out onto the lake? And was there a moment when you knew you couldn't keep him, knew he couldn't stay? Was that when you began being? Was that when you knew? Now it's night. There's a southerly, a pale blue Pukana moon holds a tricksy vigil over the bay. A curl, a frond, a biscuit, a scrap. You saw me standing alone, and the farmer keeps driving north, and he's never coming back.
That makes me cry, Annabel Wilson.
Yeah. That is so
I
beautiful.
added a tractor though.
No, that's very
Yeah, well,
super stealthy. How are we doing, Liz? Do we need to spin one more word?
yeah, the thing is, I'm not convinced I've got everyone's words here, and I'm ignoring all Catherine's extra ones that were just in case. But do you want to just check that we've got all the words?
Oh, okay, from the list. Okay, I'm double checking.
Yeah.
Just a little admin here, ladies and gentlemen, as we move towards the grand finale.
It's not really very grand finale because I haven't got very many words.
It's always a grand finale with you.
It's always the grand finale with you.
No, like actually not.
We've Facebook Live.
I think the thing is, we've kind of covered all the words. Like we had a few in earlier, and I'm just looking through the chat to make
Okay.
sure that we've got everyone's words that aren't like kind of chat related.
Okay. All right, that's good.
I'm pretty sure I got all the words. Yours.
Okay.
Do you want us to
You
spin?
could always add Simon Bridges if you feel he didn't get enough representation.
Fucking Simon Bridges. He's had enough representation as it is.
I'll do Simon Bridges. I've got one. It's got a bridge in it.
Okay.
Beware
Okay.
the curved mirror. Objects are closer than they appear. Listen, There are things only you and I know, like how I followed you home once through the Ida Valley, past, oh God, that's my telephone, wait.
Pause. Go get a drink, everyone.
I actually have a landline, and that's what one sounds like.
Ooh.
Who is ringing you?
I don't know. I'll start again.
Did you not pick it up and be like, hi, welcome to the poetry night?
No.
What?
Usually when the landline rings, it's bad, like it's the bank or something. Like no one fun ever calls on the landline. Okay. Sorry. I'm reclaiming the word bridge back from Simon Bridges. Beware the curved mirror. Objects are closer than they appear. Listen, there are things only you and I know, like how I followed you home once through the Ida Valley, past where the bonspiels go on, ad infinitum, play interrupted for years when the winters are warm. We crossed the one-lane bridge at Ophir, braved the blind corner. Remember, the only way in is to follow the mirror. The only way forward is cut through the stone. That's not for you, Simon Bridges.
I'm going to read you this poem now, and then I think we should finish on one poet's choice one, because I'm not very happy with this, because I don't feel like I've got the mojo of the thing going on.
You back yourself, Liz.
Yeah, well,
Back that cut up poem.
it's not. That'll do for us. So, like what we usually do at the end of the show is when we've got all the actual poems in the actual hat, which is usually this actual hat. I don't know if you can see that actual hat.
Oh, wait, I'll make it big.
Make my hat big.
Yeah, there we go. That is the actual.
Then I get all the other words and make them into a poem on a piece of paper, and it sometimes looks something like that. But it's a bit tricky because I've got things like that line with me as a student, and your hair looks like amazing, and I'm not sure those are single words. Anyway, so this is called It's Not Curiosity That Will Do For Us. You can always use more hot sauce in the Esplanade of Dreams. It's a bittersweet conviviality that brings us and Simon Bridges here. That's it. That's all I've got. And yeah.
That was fantastic.
One more poet choice.
Okay, I got a poet's choice.
Okay.
Let me just find it. Oh yeah, I'd like to say a poem for
Go on then.
Helen, who's in Wellington, who's joined us from Wellington. So this is a Wellington poem for Helen and all people who love Wellington. The moorings, the ropes, chains, anchors by which a boat or ship is moored. You're reading the Dictionary of the Occult and Einstein's biography under the clothesline in your sun hat. Newly built brick steps lead up from the Lilburn Gate. It's Thursday, we couldn't wait. After dinner, we measure distances in the dark, watch kaka swoop down to hang out in the Pahutakawa. There's talk of the old masters, Douglas and Rita, KM's message on Tinakori Road. If I began asking you questions about Wellington ways, there would be no end to it. A naked light bulb flickers, old wiring never fixed, as we drift into the arms of Morpheus. I have nightmares about running, some kind of conspiracy, living in a country where people aren't free. We are being watched. In the morning, your eyes are etched red. You also saw something in your sleep. Upon waking, I know the good people won. The light has stopped flickering. The kaka keep swooping.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Annabelle.
Poet's choice, who's going next?
I can do this if you want. So I've been playing this poem game while I've been in lockdown with Catherine, who might be here, who's like getting poem paint chips every day and sending them to me, which is always random. And flipping faded denim turns up every day. And what you're supposed to do with faded denim, apart from try and dye your hair faded denim color, and then it turns purple, but that's all right too. And yeah, so it's turned into like a so far like 20-page story or something. But this is about Captain Kate, and it's called All at Sea. Captain Kate believes as much in true love as she does in spontaneous combustion. That is to say, she's open to the fact that it's possible, but she's yet to see it for herself. She's counting the glory days to the end of her 2-year rotation. That is to say, she's counting the cable stitches on the sweater she's making for her sister's baby to be, with an octopus of needles and her bare feet up on the blue baize counter in the cockpit. That is to say, it's peaceful up here, and she true loves to take a late evening shift. The ghosts of the day fading, inky denim, or to be the first up in the morning. That is to say, she true loves to be on the edges, which is the closest she gets to mapless, uncharted, off the electronic chart display and information system. That is to say, she is orderly on land as well, knows her jack-o'-lanterns from her chanterelles, leaves nothing to chance, crosses herself when black cats cross her path. That is to say, the path of true love is like suede shoes on a dirt road. You just wouldn't, would you? That is to say, Captain Kate doesn't care to remember the weight at the edge of the arboretum, the mud on the hem of monks' robes, the forever grasslands, the empty, endless dunes. That is to say, the tracking sensor is blinking, constant, and Captain Kate is safe, and she is all at sea. It's such a fun game to play, you know, like if you happen to have to stay in your house for ages, random paint chips and like make up stories.
Okay, I'll finish one with which has got oceans and sea in it, so it's a segue, and it's about immigrating across the world, so it feels appropriate for right now. So yeah, and I actually wrote it for a anthology of a poetry anthology that was based on place names in the UK, and I got Portishead, and I was like, I don't know where Portishead is. No, I got Somerset, and then I realized that Portishead is in Somerset, and Portishead is a band. So then I had a poem. So here it is. It's called Portishead in the Colonies. Maybe it was a dearth of maps, or the length of the boat trip, or the distance by train that led to collective forgetting 100 years on. Listening to Portishead laid out late in a smoke-hued flat, blind to the fact it was a place, not just the name of a band. That's how it is in the perpetual now of the New World. We know about trip hop, but not about river tides as big as those in the Bay of Fundy and sundown on the Celtic Sea. When they left for the colonies, they stepped off the coast, faced their sterns to the past, looked west and said, "This is the beginning of forever and ever." Thanks.
So nice, Laura Williamson.
Thanks for everyone who Zoomed. That was amazing. That's really cool. And thank you for all your awesome words. And thanks for everyone watching on Facebook Live. I think that because we've done it on Facebook Live, it'll still be there and people can watch it later. So I think.
That's weird.
Is it? But then it's not live anymore.
I know, but it says it so-and-so was live, and then you go, hey, and you can still watch it. Is it 30? Someone nod if that's true. Yes.
I've never tried Facebook Live.
Well, no, you are trying it right now, Annabelle.
No, yeah, I just did actually. Yeah. So this is.
Thanks so much, and yeah, we hope we will come and do this for you in person sometime soon, very, very soon. And yes, please.
Because there was at least 16 poems I wanted to do that I didn't do.
Yeah, so you know there'll be another time.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Nakite, stay safe, stay cozy.
Bye.
Look after your bubble.
Thank you. Happy bubbling. Bye.
George.
Bye, George.
Bye. Aw. Hi, Sarah.